Well, hello strange people, welcome back to the channel. We're out for a bit of a hike today. We're presently just following this old military track. Then we'll get to the long stone, or the lang stone as it's generally called, and then we'll head our way up to the top of White Tor, although it's pretty breezy today, so we might drop down to lower White Tor where we'll stop and have some lunch. But I'll try and bring you some of the scenery as we go, which is grass and more grass for John over there in Canada with his trees. Catch you in a mo. Long-term visitors to my channel will have seen it before. I've walked past it several times. It's one of my favourites on the moor. It's absolutely gorgeous, especially since it's pretty remote. I've always wondered, this is sort of late Neolithic, early Bronze Age, but late Neolithic really. And if you look at the shape of it, it's got almost got a head shape to it. And it's not the only stone, certainly on Dartmoor, that's shaped like that. I do wonder if there is some significance to that, because there are plenty of big old bits of granite on the moor that are just perfectly shaped, perfectly square or whatever. So I do wonder if that's of some significance. I often wondered with this one as well, because there's a stone circle, and the stone circle over there, over in that direction, is exactly to almost to the metre 1 kilometre away from that one, from that stone. The stone is probably, there is a stone row which is mostly buried along here, and I've got a feeling it's probably the terminal stone to that stone row. But whether they've got any significance or not, I don't know. I don't know. On the other side, I'll show you the other side in a minute. The other side, some squaddies during the Second World War decided to use it for target practice, and there are actual bullet holes on the other side. I'll just show you that in a minute. Obviously go all the way to the top. Hopefully we treat our ancient monuments with a bit more respect these days. Catch you in a mo. always thought the national park was missing a chance really. These little military huts, they're still used, a lot of them are still used, but something like this one would make an excellent little bothy, a really good little bothy. So if you're watching in the national park, in the military, MOD, and there are any of these you aren't using, open them up, let people use them. A bit breezy up here at the moment, catch you in a mo. That's it. Oh, first time. Ta-da.
First time again.
Give Douglas some water.
Yes, let the expert do the bacon then.
All I'm expert in is burning. Who needs moss and grass to clean your plates when you've got a patch? Right, well, we've just been sitting here enjoying this cracking view, eating our bacon butties and drinking our coffee. Amanda's managed not to flash her boobs since we've been here, which is a bit of a novelty. And just thought I'd talk about this hill fortification that's here, as we walked across it earlier, and probably seen a bit of the film. It's down as a Neolithic pound or compound, which it almost certainly is, I should imagine. There's another one on Bodmin Moor, and you can see the hill it's on from here. It's a bit hazy, so I can't really zoom in, but I wonder whether they could communicate to each other through fires or whatever, because, as I say, it's a 20 miles away, but it's a clear 20 miles. There's nothing much in between us, so I do wonder whether they contacted each other. What this place was, I really don't know. I don't think it was a hill fort, not a Neolithic hill fort, although it does have on the other side of the hill, where the hill's not as steep, it does have two walls, two quite substantial walls, which could easily be defensive, and the wall on this side is quite high. So I wonder whether at some point in the Iron Age they came up here and tried to make this into some sort of hill fort. I really don't think it would have been a Bronze Age hill fort, because they tended to have a bit more respect for things that came before, and that can clearly be seen by the Great Western Reeve, which is a long wall that runs across the moor here. It actually starts not too far from here, and it comes up the hill and it goes around the hill and the hill fort or compound, and then back down the hill. And as it gets, it runs for about 6.5 miles, and as it gets towards the what are they called, Stone Rose, as it gets towards the Stone Rose at Merivale, it actually goes around them. It doesn't actually go through them or touch them. It's almost as though they were venerating the past, and that's what it seems to have done here. And they may have taken some stones off the ramparts, but I don't think so. So I think this, my own personal feeling, is that this was built in the Neolithic. They found flints and things like that up here, so I don't think there's any real argument about that it was built in the Neolithic times. What for? Maybe a cattle pound, maybe a market, who knows? You know, it's quite big up here. It would be a bit strange because it's also a bit bumpy, and that also puts it out for the cattle pound for me, because there is an awful lot of stones up here, and you've got Cox Tor over there, which is a big bold top. So it would make much more sense if you were going to keep your cattle or even have a market to have it over on Cox Tor. So I don't really know. I don't know. Maybe it was a ceremonial place of some kind. These rocks aren't actually granite. I don't think they're granite. I'm pretty sure they're not granite. So maybe it's because this is a non-granite tour amongst all the granite tours. I don't really know. I'm only surmising, and I think that's probably all that most people can do, is surmise. Can you surmise?
I can't multitask.
I found a woman that can't multitask. Right. She probably doesn't know what surmise means. I'm only teasing her. Please don't write in the comments. Which brings me on to sort of the next sort of point of this video, really. It's become patently obvious that a lot of the bigger channels are visiting stone rows and stone circles and other what's the word I'm looking for here? There is a word for it and I can't remember off the top of my head. They're going to these ancient places and they're talking about these ancient places. Recently you might have seen us do a video on Brentor Church, and a part of the reason for me going there was to glean a little bit of information about a pilgrimage walk. And within a week of my film coming out on Brentor Church, a channel with hundreds of thousands of subscribers has come down to this area from Yorkshire and done the pilgrimage walk. So we won't be doing that now. The one thing I don't do is fads and trends. I'm not going to copy other people, and that would look like we were copying. The irony of it is that, judging by the weather, he was up there the day after we'd actually gone up there. So good luck to him. So we're not going to be doing that. And because the fad has now become to go to stone circles and talk absolute bollocks about them, which is, I'm afraid, what people are doing, I'm going to be stopping doing that as well now. Until they've stopped, we won't be doing any more history videos. I don't think we're going to do any more hiking videos. All our videos from now on will just be camping videos, which means we won't be putting out videos as often, but you know, until the fad for ancient sites has worn off, we won't be partaking in it. I've never been somebody that follows the latest fads and trends. I've only literally got a smartphone in the last year and a half or so, and I'm too thick to use it anyway, so she does all the smartphone stuff. So yeah, it's a bit annoying because they've just found, or not just found, but within the last sort of 2 years, 18 months, 2 years, they found a Bronze Age kist, which is, for those that don't really know, which is a stone box, a stone coffin. Kistven actually means stone box in Cornish, or well, probably Welsh as well. So they found a sarcophagus, for want of another word, and they've literally just got the funding to work on it. And I thought it might be interesting to go and maybe film the archaeologists at work on this thing. I was going to get in contact with Dr. Bray and see if I could go out and just, you know, in the background, just film the archaeologists at work, maybe talk to one or two of them if I could. But I'm not going to do that now. I'm not going to do that now. Also had a film set more in the Iron Age, which I've binned all the footage for now because, well, just because I don't want to be, my channel's not big enough to compete with the big channels, and I don't want people coming along thinking that I'm copying anybody else. If you want a really good history channel with proper facts, well researched facts, go to the Dartmoor podcast. George is brilliant, and he does it with a lot of humour as well. So you know, if you want that kind of thing, please go over to him. As I said, this is now just basically going to become a camping channel. We're not a gear channel. We're not a look what we've just bought channel. This is literally now just going to be, for a while, until my ire subsides a little bit and the fad for visiting the Stone Age sites and the Bronze Age sites and talking absolute gobbledygook is over, then that's what we're going to be. That's what we're going to be. I may take the camera next week to Buckinghamshire. We're off to Buckinghamshire for a camp. I may not. I may just... One thing I probably will do, because we're not going to stop doing the hikes and we're not going to stop doing the walks, is I'll probably post photographs up on Facebook. I think that's just about it. Have you got anything you wanted to add?
No.
No? Nothing?
No. You stop moaning now.
I've stopped moaning now. Okay. This channel's all about moaning. It's all about the outdoors and moaning. That's why the few people that watch this channel. Catch you in a mo. Well, ignore that segment, because I poked the bear and the bear went off and stamped her feet and gave me a bloody lecture. She's probably right. I've spent probably close to 25 years or so studying, reading about the Bronze Age and post-Roman Britain. Those are my two sort of real sort of passions in history, if you like. If I can find it, I'll even put a photograph of me doing experimental archaeology, dressed up as somebody from that time period. She is right. I hate to admit it. We've just had our first major domestic, which if you see a lot of stones lying around this tour, most of them have been thrown by her, metaphorically. Oh, she's looking at me daggers now. So yeah, okay, we won't stop. I'm going to keep that last segment in anyway, because it does make my point that people should stick to what they know. And maybe I will get a hold of Dr. Bray and see if I can go and film the archaeologists. I'm afraid that other film's gone now. Oh yeah, well, Amanda and I both actually do want one little moan. I was going to do a little series on the bylaws on Dartmoor, and one of the bylaws on Dartmoor through the breeding and nesting season, so that's May to the end of July, is that dogs must be kept on a lead. Patch is always on a lead. We went out for a walk, was it last weekend or the weekend before? Weekend before, and we counted on the way back, not too far away from where we were, 12 dogs off the lead and 3 on, and that's one of those 3 was Patch. So it maybe isn't, people aren't aware, but the skylarks are nesting and the other ground dwelling birds are nesting. We've got lambs everywhere. The farm just down in the valley down there is 10,000 sheep. And with the current climate on Dartmoor, with Mr. Darwell wanting to stop the wild camping on the moor, they are finding more and more reasons to stop our access to this beautiful place. And people need to be aware, people need to be made aware. And like I said, it may be that it hasn't been advertised well enough, but hopefully if you're watching this and you know somebody that's coming to Dartmoor with a dog, or somebody that regularly walks their dog on Dartmoor, it's only till the end of July. You can take your dog off the lead then, but from till then, till the end of July, please keep your dogs on the lead. Do you want to add anything?
No, well done you.
Oh, okay. Right, I'll catch you in a mo. It's always nice to see ponies coming to visit.
be alright at the bottom?
Yeah, it should be. If not, they'll be a bit destroyed.
You've been a good boy, haven't you? Are you recording? Ugh, head wash. Want to kiss side of his willy?